All right, still morning. It's about 3 or 4 loads through the dryer here already. Wind is blowing, nice breeze. You don't want to blow it any harder than this because some of our pea and canola swaths were starting to lift. I guess my mom's seen one that was swathed north and south, so we always have east-west wind, or not always, but mostly. So we swath east and west, but the outside rounds, they're the shape of the field, right? So when you're going up, those are going to be north and south, and I guess one of those blew right across the road, so I'm not getting that one back. But my cousin actually was out scouting for some geese, and he said the fields he was at, there was virtually no wind damage, so that's great. Just up here now, checking oil, and then I'm gonna take this combine out for a quick spin. But my oil looks good, coolant looks good, hydraulic oil looks good, life is good. So as long as this old girl starts, these John Deere combines up until this year have basically been flawless. As long as they got batteries and alternators, they always start. However, the 9750 had that little hiccup earlier on, and that's gone away, thankfully. It starts every time, and you can adjust it. But yesterday when I tried to fire up Mom's combine, it was dead too. Now she had said I did leave the lights on, but I think there was more to it than that. So we will see. Wish me luck. Winning. I installed these last year in place of the cigarette lighter because nobody smokes, and everybody has a cell phone to charge. So, and it came with these fancy voltmeter readouts, so that was helpful. Obviously yesterday the battery was totally dead because it was around 11.8 volts for quite a while until it got charged up. Turn GPS on, give that time to boot up. Oh. And away we go. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is 12:30, and I snuck into the combine for a little bit. So I've done a little bit here already, and I've only got to go that far, so I'm not going to get a whole bunch. Quite a bit of green in this little patch, but we're taking it anyways. It's only taken about half an hour, 40 minutes in the dryer. Dad, Mom, and Corey are all in the yard, so between the three of them, it's actually not a really stressful event in there. They got the, we use our one single axle to haul away from the dryer up to the bin yard. They got the Super Bees parked over that swing, so no corners to shovel, none of that kind of stuff. And they're working away at that. But while I was in here and I got a minute, thought I should explain one of the reasons why we're not running 2 combines. There's more than one, but one of the reasons is because there's such a shortage of feed for livestock up in our area, and really across basically the province of Alberta and the prairie provinces and into the States, unfortunately. So we are trying to do our part, do everything we can. There's a lot of science behind should you drop your straw and work it back into the ground. And yeah, I don't know, I didn't read a bunch of it. It's probably beneficial to put the organic matter back. Most people are zero-till anyways, so they don't even really get it incorporated, so I don't know. I would say at this point, people that are unwilling to drop the straw are being a little bit probably rude, but to each their own. On a year like this where it's potentially such a disaster, you would think that you could sacrifice 1 year and just let the cowboys bale the straw. Anyways, we are, and that's the reason why we're trying to do the most combining we can with our conventional combine. So I will get turned around here and explain why that would matter. We have one conventional and one rotary, so why does it matter? Why can't you use both if you're going to bale it? And I'll explain that in a minute. So while some balers, new balers, even just some baler operators can bale behind a rotary, the preferred combine is a conventional. And it's all in the way that it thrashes the grain. A conventional combine has a cylinder and a set of concaves that run the width of the feeder house and the width of the combine, basically in between the two big tires. A rotary combine has a big rotor and concaves that run the length of the machine. The longer that straw spends in between the concave and the cylinder, the more beat up that straw is going to be. So the grain is cut and it's converged into the center here. It's pulled in with the augers. There's a feeder chain inside this feeder house that pulls it into the cylinder and the concave. The cylinder has some rasp bars on it. The concave has some holes in it. So the grain beating against itself and the narrow space between the concave and the cylinder is what thrashes out the seeds. After that point, the straw goes right up over what are called straw walkers. They just walk back and forth, and they carry the grain out the back of the they carry the straw out the back of the combine. The thrashed material, the seed and all the small stuff, that goes over top now of the chaffer and the sieves. Lots of people don't differentiate between the two. They just call it the sieves because that's what I guess what it is. But the top one is called chaffer, the bottom one is called the sieve. The big and the light stuff stays on top of the chaffer and it goes right out the back of the combine. The seed and whatever the combine thinks could be seed falls onto the sieve. The seed falls through the sieve, and whatever goes over the sieve goes back through up what's called a return grain elevator. Yeah, a return grain elevator, and it brings it back, it dumps it back into the cylinder and thrashes it one more time. That's the process of a conventional combine. A rotary combine doesn't have straw walkers because the rotor is so long that by the time the chaff gets to the end of the rotor, it basically just goes through a couple of beaters and then it's thrown out the back of the combine. But it's the length of time that straw spends between the concave and the cylinder that beats it up all to bits. And instead of ending up with nice big long straws like you'll see over here, you'll end up with itty bitty ones behind the rotary combine. Now if you have a big header, a rotary combine probably leaves a bigger swath. And if you have a good baler with net wrap and everything, you can probably handle it as well. But twine balers, as you can imagine, if you have a piece of straw that's 20 inches long and you're putting twine and I don't know much about balers, but however far apart the twine is, it's easier to hold that together. You can put the twine 18 inches apart and cover both ends of the straw. If the straw is very small, then you have to either put way more twine on it or whatever they do. Whereas with a net wrap baler, it's just solid anyways, like saran wrapping. So from the grain producer's side, from our side, we actually don't really have a preference on what's a better machine for harvesting the grain. This conventional combine works just as well. When the combines are set properly, I don't think there's much of a difference between the two of them. They do a good job. And if the crop was ready and the crop was dry, we would definitely have both machines out here working. But the forecast looks pretty good. It is only the 6th of September, so we do have what we feel is a bit of time. Lots of falls, and I mean lots, like probably 95% of my dad and my mom's life, they don't even start combining till the middle to the end of September. And here we are today, we got probably close to 700 acres already combined. We only have 2,500 acres to do. We have all our canola swath, so that's just sitting there curing. We have all our peas and canola swath, so that's just sitting there curing as long as the wind doesn't blow it away. But we are in good shape. And as I said earlier in the video, some of our local cowboys and cattle producers, they're not in that good a shape. So we are doing the best we can. We are doing our part to get as much straw as we can so these guys can get it baled up and maybe be able to keep some of their herd that otherwise they would have had to sell. So as always, to everybody that's watching, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Anybody has questions, anybody has input on what combine is better for just the thrashing part of it, not the straw dropping part, let me know. What's your preference and why? We've had 2 rotary combines. We've had, I don't know, 4 or 5 conventionals. To us, it doesn't really matter. Color, does that matter too? I know that's a big topic for both farmers and people that don't even farm. Everybody has a preference when it comes to farm machinery. We like John Deere. Do we like John Deere because it's a superior machine? Absolutely not. We like John Deere because they have the best service and the best customer service. Undeniably, for us in this area, other people use other dealers. That's fine. They got better service. They get better treatment or whatever. We have found the best support, the best. Both in being able to get parts and being able to fix your machinery. The customer service has been basically top notch at our John Deere dealer. That is the reason why we have the green paint that we have, and we will probably continue to switch our farm over to all green paint. That's a big rock. I'll have to come and get that. But anyways, as I said, thank you very much for watching. To any of the new people that are tuning in, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And if you're watching this and you're a farmer, I hope your fall is going well. I hope you're finding some. If you're down south, I hope you're finding some good crops to combine. I know down south got hit pretty hard, and across Saskatchewan and into Manitoba. So hopefully you are finding something to harvest and something to get in the bin. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the next one.